Up until last year, there was no proof she ever existed. With no birth certificate or any other legal document to prove her identity, DILNOZA SHERMIZAEVA grew up in the shadows.
Without documents, you are nothing. It's very difficult. I couldn't take my children to hospital because we didn't have IDs. Now I have a birth certificate. I feel equal.
DILNOZA is a Lulia, a Roma community living in Central Asia. She inherited her stateless status from her parents and wants to make sure her children grow up as fully recognized citizens. This piece of paper is the only proof of birth they hold for now. People like DILNOZA, stateless without any basic rights, are described as national ghosts, not recognized by any nation. A problem the UN Agency for Refugees says affects millions around the world. Kyrgyzstan is the first country to have eradicated statelessness.
This starting point is the challenge. Yeah. So I applaud Kyrgyzstan for taking the courage to do it. Mapping exercise all over the country, not bits and pieces, not partially, but the whole country. So that's quite amazing. There was a political will to do it, and it was decided, and it was done.
At least 13,500 people have now become Kyrgyz citizens. Statelessness became a real problem after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. New borders were drawn, and many found themselves on the wrong side of the border or without the proper documents. It took people like KANAT KERIMOV from the Fergana Valley Lawyers Without Borders to scour the country, sometimes to remote areas reachable only on horseback, to find the thousands of stateless people in need. The founder of the organization, Azizbeq Ashurov, is now being awarded by the UN.
There are de facto stateless people who had invalid Soviet passports or no way to prove where they were born. There are also Uzbek wives who automatically lost their citizenship after 1991. It's complicated.
SHARAPAT KHURKINOVA is one of them. She came to Kyrgyzstan as a young bride. There were no borders then.
I only had a piece of paper from the collective farm where I worked, which allowed me to go back and forth. I was very happy when I got my passport. Now I get a pension and I have a chance to visit my brothers.
And she can pass on her Kyrgyz nationality to her grown-up son. It's difficult to know how many exactly, but millions of people around the world still remain in legal limbo, many going from birth to death without any official trace of their existence. Hoda Abdel-Hamid, Al Jazeera, in southern Kyrgyzstan.